if I'm former President Trump and I watch this, I'm actually feeling quite good about what I learned about, let's say, Justices Kavanaugh, what I learned about Alito, what I learned about Thomas. And I would add to that list Gorsuch. And here's why. They both brought up Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, and it was unclear where they stood before this moment, but they both brought up the issue of remanding, meaning sending this back to the lower court for more proceedings.
That is Kayleigh McEnany, a person who is to the deepest recesses of her soul, a propagandist. That's why you're seeing her right now, is because she was good at telling lies for the powerful, okay? She did it in the White House, now she's doing it on Fox News. She's doing it right there. Now, she's not lying in that that's what the Supreme Court is talking about. Yes, they are talking about remanding it, sending it back down to a lower level for more specificity. But why are they doing that? Because they want more specificity? Because it demands more specificity? No, it's a delay tactic. The Supreme Court knows that that's a great way to delay it, even more than they already have. They don't even need to do that. If they literally stop right now and come out tomorrow with, come on, we're not gonna do the immunity thing, we still likely would not have a resolution to some of the most important cases that are facing Donald Trump. If they delay a long time before announcing their final opinion, that will almost certainly doom it. Remanding it is like, that's just a bonus. That's just the cherry on top at the end of the day. And importantly, Kayleigh McEnany knows every single aspect of that. She knows wholly why they might do that and what effect it would have. But again, she's a propagandist, so she's pretending not to understand that.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the Damage Report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you.
Brett, thoughts?
Yeah, they're actors. That's their job, especially on Fox News. Anyone who hasn't seen that doesn't get it. Here's what's sad about it is there's this magic dynamic that just kind of seeps and seeps. And it starts off as obviously stupid to all of us as ever, but somehow the things that Kayleigh McEnany says make their way into other news people's framing subtly at first. And then it's just like this given. And then the other side is so warped and detached from reality that it ends up like ruining the entire recipe for how we're supposed to have like the fourth estate be reasonable and focused on truth. There's just a bunch of psychos on various ends of the spectrum yanking it apart. And then it gets torn. But for this, yeah, she's kind of right. It is good for Trump. There is talk of remanding it. She's definitely trying to spin it in a way that sounds less dastardly, but like I don't expect more from her.
Yeah, and she can do it because of course the audience doesn't expect more. They don't want more. They want the lie.
She's very pretty and wearing a suit. You know, like 100%. That's what it is.
And she tells lies in a way like she doesn't tell the lie the way like, you know, a Marjorie Greene would or an Alina Habba would. She makes it sound better. She makes it sound more dignified. That's why she's doing well in her career as a mouthpiece for fascists. That's why she's as skilled as she is and is benefiting from it. And yeah, the absolutely massive lies. And you're right about the yanking apart and everything. And I'll just take a brief moment to remind everyone, I apologize that I sometimes do this. Especially if you were new to politics, you might think, well, there's some things that have to work in our system. You know, the law has to work, Congress has to function, the Supreme Court has to function, the media needs to function, because while there's obviously, you know, a big difference between what, you know, a hardcore Democrat believes and a hardcore Republican believes, they're all trying to get things done. And so they all need the system to sort of work. No, that's not true at all. Yes, they technically believe different things, but the need to accomplish things is not evenly distributed across the political spectrum. Okay, it's not even evenly distributed if you include the Democrats. There are people who desperately want things to change and problems to be solved. And there are on the right things that they say they want to do, but there's not a desperation. There is not a need. They're perfectly happy for Congress to be absolutely deadlocked for the next 2 decades. They're happy for the court system to not work. The court system is a potential check on the wealthy and powerful. They don't want any of these things to function. And so just understand that asymmetry. Do we have, let's play one more clip and we'll give a brief response.
Think about this. Can the Trump 47 Justice Department charge President Obama for capital murder for his extrajudicial drone strike of 2 American citizens, including a minor? Can the Trump 47 Justice Department charge President Biden for his illegal mass parole of illegal migrants into our country and the resulting crimes? Do the Democrats really want to go down this path?
I mean, I can't speak for all Democrats, and I assume most do not, but if the path is that presidents would face consequences for the crimes they commit, yes, sign me up for that. Now, by the way, that doesn't mean that literally anything you pull out of your ass qualifies. His illegal parole of migrants, you're just saying nonsensical racist stuff that you think that the audience will like. But if Obama killed some US citizens extrajudicially, then yeah, there should probably be consequences for that. Wait, are you saying that you don't think there should be consequences for that? Does Laura Ingraham not think there should be consequences for that? If Obama were to have drone struck a couple of CPAC members, I should hope they'd think that's illegal. Again, like they're throwing out these things as if they're supposed to be like apocalyptic foreshadowing or something. No, everyone should face the constraints of the law. And I think we'll all be better off, not only when that has happened, but when future presidents fear the possibility of that happening. And it doesn't mean that the president won't be able to do plenty of things. They'll engage in wars, they'll do all sorts of stuff, but they have to do it according to the Constitution and according to the law. That's what we've always pretended they've done. And I'll throw out one last thing and we'll get your response. One of the points that the absolutely impotent and irrelevant liberals on the Supreme Court right now, who have nothing to do with where this goes in the end, pointed out was, if you're immune to all of these challenges, why was Nixon pardoned? What was the point of that? If he could never have faced legal consequences anyway, and that was election related stuff like Trump stuff. So why did there need to be a pardon? They want to pretend that we've always assumed they were immune. Jesse Waters has said that specific thing. No. It's never been tested by the Supreme Court. But the vast majority of Americans did not go through their lives from birth until today believing that the president can cap someone in the back of the head and just walk away scot-free. Final thoughts go to you, Brett.
Well, the direct reason that Ford pardoned Nixon was because he's just like, enough. I'm ending it. It's over. Stop. Because there's the things that are written in the law, there are things that are codified, there's precedents set by the Supreme Court. But there are also the things that, as people with respect for the idea of America, there's things you don't do. And Trump did them. Like the question about, with the clip you played, the first guy goes, real actual constitutional question in the Obama extrajudicial killing drone strike. Then a nonsensical, like weird fake fact that's just like a turd burger they've been cooking up inside Fox News falsely for years and years and years. It's just a turd burger. And then he goes to Crazy Town and it's that easy. Yeah. But for this, and he said the quiet part loud. He's like, we're just gonna go out and arrest people for nothing, for arrest former presidents for things that we feel like they should be arrested for, but aren't actually based in the law. And also, Guy, after that, there would be a trial. We do that. We do the, should we prosecute people and convict them all the time? Because at that point, if you're a citizen, that's what happens to normal people in society. And he wants the president to be above the law. But I just need people to walk away from this with one thing. Trump did something that not even Nixon would do, that like nobody would do. Nixon tried to cheat along the way and get secrets and he stole stuff. But like he didn't say, stop democracy now.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, you're 100% right. It was that line. And because everything gets normalized, sometimes we need to stop and acknowledge that line. We did it earlier this week with some of the stuff that happened during the pandemic, even though nobody watched that clip. And we're doing it now in terms of the death of democracy. Yeah, 100%. We live in insane times. We live in utterly insane times. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.